Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial in which we are going to solve the advanced practical question in information technology. By the end of this video, we would have learned how to create a jigsaw piece template as shown in task 2. So I will encourage you to have the source files on hand so that we can solve the question together. Task 2. Create a jigsaw piece template as shown here. The piece must be based upon an 80mm square. Save the piece SVG file named jigtemplate underscore followed by your center number underscore candidate number. Next, we have to fit 4 copies of the jigtemplate image together as shown. Save the image as a PNG file named 4 pieces followed by your center number underscore candidate number. We will then head into the source files and open tier.png in a graphics application software and use our jig template image to cut the tier.png images into 4 pieces. And there's an illustration of how it should go. So we have to save each piece as a PNG file named tier piece 1 to tier piece 4 as shown. And then we fit the 4 pieces together and save the complete image as a PNG file named 4 PNGs followed by your center number and candidate number. So your complete piece must look like this. To help us solve the first part, I suggest we use the image editing software, Photoshop, because it has a more user-friendly guide feature when it comes to handling dimensions. So here we are and we are about to create a new file in Photoshop. So head up to File, go to New, and first we head into the preset details over here and we change the units to millimeters. Here we can give it a width and a height. For the purpose of building just the first piece, I'm going to stick to something slightly bigger than the dimensions. So for the width, I'll go with 100, and the height I go with 110. Keep the resolution at 300. Color can be RGB. Just go ahead and click on create. Make sure the background is unlocked, and based on the dimensions in the question paper, let's go ahead and start creating our guides. First, let's head into view, come down to show, and make sure smart guide is ticked. Then under view again, let's head into guide and create our new guide. First, for the horizontal, I'll go with the 30 that we have. So 30 mm for the horizontal. There we have it. And then head there once again and do the same thing for the vertical. 30. Next, we had another guide on the 50 mark for both vertical and horizontal. So vertical 50, and horizontal 50. So for our next guide for the vertical, we need to do the 80 minus 12 showing here, and we'll do another 80 plus 12 on this side. So you can go ahead and open your calculator and quickly do your 80 minus 12. This is going to be for the vertical 68, and for the horizontal that's going to be 92. So once again, view, guide, new guide. For the vertical we have 68, and we head there once again, and for the horizontal we're going to have our 80 first, and then we have our 92. That's horizontal. So we have our 80 and then we add the 92 to it. Once again, new guide, 92. So this is going to be the head of your jigsaw piece. So I'm going to add another vertical one to have the 80 on the side. So view, new guide, vertical 80. Now, in case you can't see the guides we've created, I'm going to change the color of layer 0, which is our background. Choose something darker. I think this will do. Click OK, head into edit, select fill, foreground. So let's head into the shapes tool and pick our rectangle tool. Head up here where the properties are and let's select our color. If you don't already have a yellow preset here, click on this palette here and select your yellow. For now, I will not need a stroke, so disable the stroke for now. Now click anywhere on the artboard and change the width to 80 mm, 80 millimeters, and the height also to 80 mm. Then you click OK. Now use the move tool to position it within the guides we've created. This is where the smart guides come in handy. Create another layer. Now we have a rectangle layer created here. We are going to create another layer. Once again, head into the tools panel and this time pick the ellipse tool. Also, it should be a shape with the same fill color, no stroke. Just click anywhere on the artboard and change the width to 20 mm. And the height, instead of 12, since we want the ellipse to be fully rounded for now, we give it 14. Click OK. Now let's use the move tool to move it in place. So this one is supposed to be here. So what I'm going to do is press Ctrl or Command T for the transform tool to appear. Hold down Shift and rotate till you get it vertically straight. Now move it into the first guide, so something like this. Click on the check sign to accept. For now, we can't see the difference between the two. Before we go ahead to the next step, head to the layers panel where it says ellipse. Right click the ellipse layer and rasterize the layer. Do the same thing for the rectangle. Rasterize the layer so that there are no more smart objects. Now hold Ctrl and click the ellipse layer whilst the rectangle is still selected. You can also just select this, hold Ctrl and select it, come back and select the rectangle layer and hit the delete key. Press Ctrl D to deactivate the matching ants. Select your ellipse layer once again and move it downwards over here. Now once you are doing all these selections, make sure at the top left corner auto select is not active, it's not ticked like this. Now back to our ellipse, hold Ctrl T or Command T and then hold down Shift, rotate. Now move it in place till it hits the lowest guide like this. Hit the check mark to accept. And now we head into the layers panel. Select both the ellipse and the rectangle tool and merge both layers. You can press Ctrl E or Command E on your Mac to merge both layers. Now let's do away with what we don't need. First, we delete the background layer. Select the layer, click on this delete dustbin down here. Next, you press Ctrl and a semicolon to hide the guides. We also don't need this excess space. So we go to Image, Trim, make sure Transparent Pixels is selected, click OK. Now to save our work, we are supposed to save it in an SVG format. So let's head to File, Save As, and let's check the format we have here. We don't have SVG. So let's head back to our file. Go to File again. Now this time, let's go to Save a Copy. And from the list here, look for PNG. Add the name. Can add a center number and candidate number. And let's save for now. We are now going to convert this to an SVG using Adobe Illustrator. So what you can do is open the folder where you have saved your work, locate the file that we saved as a PNG. Mine is right here. And then you say open with Adobe Illustrator. So as soon as the file opens, you don't make any changes to it. Just leave it as it is. Go to File, Save As. So we have the SVG here. But let's make sure our dimensions have not changed. You can click on it once and have a look at the dimensions in the Properties panel. At the moment, as I open the Illustrator, it's in pixels. So I see pixels here. So let's go to File, go to Document Setup, and change the units here to millimeters. Click OK. Once again, select your file and let's have a look at the width and the height. Yes, so the width we have our 80.01, that's approximate, and we have our 92 for the height, which was the 80 plus the 12, which is also correct. So just go to File once again, Save As, make sure it's in the folder or the exam folder that is required. Save type SVG, click on Save. If your presets appear like this, don't make changes to any of them. Just click OK. We are done with the first part. Let's head into the second part of the question. Now that we've saved our work, we are required to fit 4 copies of the Jigsawtemplate image together as shown. Then we have to save the image as a PNG file named 4 pieces, followed by your center number, candidate number. Now still in Photoshop, let's go ahead and create a new artboard. Head up to File, say New, and make sure the unit is still on millimeters. For the width this time around, since we are going to do 2 on each side, it's going to be 160 instead of the 80. The height is also going to be 160, 160. Still with resolution of 300 RGB, etc. Click on Create, unlock the background, head back to your previous file, drag and drop it on our new artboard like this. Now when you look at the question paper, you see it had an outline, so let's add an outline to it. Head to where the layers panel is, come down to where it says FX. Click on the FX icon and select stroke. Now, in the layer style options, where it says stroke, make sure the size is at least 1 or 2 is okay. Position, make sure it's on the inside. If you place it on the outside, it changes the dimension of your shape. So inside is okay. Blend, normal, opacity, we don't need to change any of this. Just make sure it's black and click OK. Now back in your layers panel, still with the ellipse layer selected, let's rename it Jigsaw. I'm going to rename it Jigsaw 1, and I'm going to make a duplicate of this 3 times. So I'll hold down my control and press J 3 times. So I have 3 additional copies. Come down to the first copy, reposition it, hold down Control and T to transform, then hold down Shift so that I can rotate it per angle and place it here. Click the check sign to accept, select the next one, and repeat the process. So we have to save this as a PNG file named 4 pieces. Head up to File, save a copy, select PNG, and type in the name, followed by your center number and candidate number. In the B part of the question, we are supposed to open tier.png and use our Jigsawtemplate image to cut the tier.png image into 4 pieces. Then we have to save each piece as a PNG file named tier piece 1 to tier piece 4 as shown. After which we are supposed to fit the 4 pieces together and save the complete image as another PNG file named 4pngs, followed by a center number and candidate number. So we are back in Photoshop where we left off. So where we have our 4 pieces joined together. We don't need to open a new artboard, just go to File and this time say Place Embedded. And let's pick our file name, TFPNG, and place, so that it's exactly placed on top of all the 4 pieces. Click on the check sign to accept and head into the layers panel, and I would like you to reposition the layers such that tier is way below all of them. I don't think I'll need this last layer, so I'll select it and delete. And since we are using a non-destructive method, I would suggest you duplicate tier layer. Since it's selected, Ctrl J, so there we have another copy down there. Now I can select both copies, right click, and then say rasterize layers. Now let's select the duplicated one, come to where it says jigsaw 1, the first piece, hold down Control and click so that it's selected. But make sure the duplicated tier is selected. Head into Edit. You can say Copy. Head into Edit once again. Paste Special and say Paste in Place. If I hide all the layers except from what we have just pasted, see that we've created our piece. So now let's bring back everything and repeat the process for the next piece. So what I said is make sure the duplicated tier is selected. Go to the next piece, hold down Control and click to bring up the matching ants. Head into Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste Special, Paste in Place. We are repeating the process again. Duplicated layer selected. Hold down Control and click on the next piece. Go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste in Place. Now I'm going to select all the templates. I'll hold down Control whilst I do that and press Ctrl G to group them so I can do away with them. Next, the tier images I have down here, I can group them as well. And now we are left with our pieces. I'm going to bring group 1 down here, hide this as well. So all we have now is the pieces. Now the pieces seem to have an outline in the question paper, so select all, or let's just select one. Head down to where it says FX, select stroke. So you already have a stroke here. I think the preset I have here is okay, size being 2. If I increase it too much, it will be too obvious. So I think the 2 is enough. Or let's make it 3. Let me enter 3 there and click OK. I'm going to duplicate or replicate the same for all the other layers. So I'll just say, I'll right click on the layer I just did the stroke for, and I'll say copy layer style, and then select the next one, right click, and then I'll say paste layer style. So in so doing, we've brought the pieces together, forming one image. So we can even go ahead and save the whole image first, and then come and save the pieces individually. So for that, I'll go to File, once again save, copy, select PNG because that's the format, and then the name is 4 PNGs followed by a center number and coordinate number. So now to save it individually without destroying what we've already done here, we're going to utilize the other side where we created the jigsaw template. So I'm going to pick this layer, click and drag it to where we had this. You can hide the template, Save file, save a copy. Once again, it's a PNG file, so make sure you select PNG, and the name is supposed to be tier piece 1. Tier piece 1. Then you save. Click OK. Let's head back to the 4 pieces we put together, and this piece is our second piece we are supposed to pick. So click drag and drop it here as well. Now let's hide the previous ones and try to fit this into our stage. Okay, so we will need to extend it a bit. So press Ctrl Alt and C to bring up the canvas size, and let's increase the size of the width from 80 to 92. You can use the right edge, this side, meaning this edge, as a reference point, so we get something like this. So let's go ahead into file and save it as a PNG, after which we repeat the process for the remaining ones. And now that we have saved all the files required from us, we can confidently say that we are done with the question. I will also request that if you have any queries or any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. All suggestions are welcome as well. Once again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until I meet you in the next video, it's bye.